Good evening. Welcome to this edition of the 411 Talk Zone radio show. My name is Leon Jones. Tonight's topic: neuroticism is a mild psychological issue. Now, being called neurotic is an insult in today's culture because many people with their own personal eccentric style are called neurotic because they're simply a little different. And this is seen not as a condition but as an irritating personality trait. It is even used as a slur primarily against women for experiencing emotion and nervousness, even when that nervousness is justified. Now, the way the term neurotic is used today represents a blatant misunderstanding of what really goes on in neuroticism. For many people, being neurotic simply means that you are suffering from anxiety. Now, when it comes to the emotions of neuroticism, neuroticism has a formal definition but is informally assessed. Someone that is emotional to one person may be fully justified to another. Often it has to do with how people interact. The key to understand is that being neurotic is in many ways just its own type of anxiety. It's defined as people that show an above average predilection to a variety of negative emotions such as anxiety, envy, jealousy, guilt, and depression. Now, neuroticism is considered a mild psychological issue, one that many people have without even knowing it. A neurotic person is someone that calls and texts immediately after sending an email to make sure you get it or express an emotional rather than an anger induced jealousy when people look at their relationship partner. There's someone that feels guilt when they do not give a homeless person their spare change. There's someone that shows signs of being a hypochondriac. Now, it's easy to see how this would be difficult to diagnose. Neuroticism is, in many ways, simply a way to show and experience emotion. Someone that experiences nervousness that is a little worse than normal in a given situation, or someone that is a bit more cautious, like an example, before stepping onto a roller coaster, may be a neurotic person, or it may just be someone that is a bit more nervous or anxious in that specific situation. But it's very difficult to tell because not everyone that is jealous, anxious, or guilt stricken is going to be neurotic. And many people that are neurotic do not show signs of anxiety. But there is some evidence that those with a neurotic personality type do seem to experience more anxiety than those without anxiety. It is because of the similarities between neuroticism and anxiety and the difficulty in distinguishing between the two is trying to find out what's normal and what's not. The some or some people that call themselves neurotic are actually suffering from a very real anxiety disorder. Now, determining whether you are neurotic, have an anxiety disorder, or absolutely nothing at all largely depends on how the anxiousness will manifest. Is it frequently happening often throughout the day or frequently in the wrong situations? Does it ever get bad, worse than it should be by a significant margin, or is it very hard to control? Perhaps most importantly, do you consider it to be a problem? Because if you feel that your anxiety is bad enough or frequent enough to be a problem, then the likelihood is that neuroticism or nothing at all is much lower. Finally, there are those that argue that neurotic people can also have an anxiety disorder. Now, the argument is that neuroticism is a personality quirk while anxiety is the condition. Now, people that show signs of neuroticism act in ways that are out of the norm for the emotions of the event, and those same people may then develop anxiety disorders because of their personality. Now, being neurotic is actually more of a personality trait, and those that are neurotic have a slightly different brain pattern than those who don't have neuroticism. Now, the difference isn't remarkable, but it's enough that there is certainly a difference between those that are neurotic and those that are not neurotic. It's not a condition that is imaginary. But why those that have neurotic tendencies tend to develop anxiety disorders is less clear. There are two likely reasons. Those that have more emotional swings, jealousy, and jitterness are probably experiencing more stress, and long-term stress does not lead to the development of anxiety disorders. Those that have neuroticism seem more likely to internalize, and when you're lost in your own head, you also seem more likely to develop anxiety and panic disorders. Now, many studies have shown that those with neurotic tendencies exhibit far more depression and anxiety after a major life change and seem to have a harder time dealing with stressful events. Studies have also shown that those with high scores, or those who score high on neurotic tendencies, often exhibit significant stress when faced with uncertainty. The entire discussion is based on the idea that neuroticism is a bad thing. But interestingly, that's right, interestingly, neuroticism may have had an evolutionary benefit. Those that show neurotic tendencies seem to be doing anything they can to try to avoid negative consequences and events. And this causes them to both be more cautious in life while simultaneously being far more productive, as they show a significant drive to be successful by avoiding negative issues. In other words, when early man was struggling to escape predators so he could survive, those that were neurotic likely did a better job staying safe. They were likely more cautious and careful in new situations, and they, being cautious, or their cautiousness, basically helped them survive. So, a neurotic person that has a good social life, no serious anxiety, and is able to function without any issue is one that doesn't require any treatment, and they may not be neurotic at all. However, anxiety is always a problem whether you're neurotic or not. So if you are experiencing the anxiety from being neurotic, the best thing that I will tell you is seek help. Talk to a therapist, a doctor. Get on a program. But you have to admit you have a problem. And once you get the help, stay committed. Because what happens when it comes to treatments from any type of mental or psychological disorders, you have individuals who might feel fine, but they aren't fine. And when it comes to medications only take care of the symptoms. See, a lot of these disorders that I've done via YouTube are very difficult to diagnose, no matter how many studies that have been put into trying to find out how to solve some of these mental health issues. Because a lot of these mental health issues are basically related in one form or another. So what I'm doing is just giving you the insight so you'll understand how these disorders can affect you on a health, emotion, psychological, And basically, they can affect your personality and behavior as well. So, what I'm suggesting, anytime you have a disorder and you know you have it, don't sweep it under the rug. Be smart, lay your pride down, and get help. Because at the end of the day, you're not only going to save yourself, but you're going to save somebody else. And that's my commentary for this edition of the 411 Talk Zone radio show for this evening, Saturday, June 17th, 2017. You can tune into the 411 Talk Zone radio show every Saturday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Blog Talk Radio. The guest call-in number is 215-383-5785. If you like my videos, please share and subscribe to the 411 Talk Zone radio show right here on YouTube so I can continue to give you quality information for educational purposes from a professional and mature perspective. Now, on this channel, I don't engage in debates, controversy, or emotional issues, nor do I participate in drama and or unnecessary bickering because it's counterproductive. And my channel is for educational purposes only, because what I do is research the information, and I also give you, my audience and subscribers, information from my own personal experiences so you can apply it to the real world. Because if you don't understand how the system works, you're going to always struggle. So what I'm doing is giving you the insight from a realistic but positive perspective, because knowledge is power and nobody can take knowledge away from you. And you should always want to continue to grow when it comes to your mind, because it's a lot easier for you to handle different situations when you're growing. And of course, the mind always works when there is positive energy. It doesn't work with negative energy. That's why people who are very negative stay on the bottom. And this has nothing to do with race, gender, just that negative people don't grow. Some of them don't want to grow. Some of them don't know how to grow. And that's why you come to this channel, so I can help you with my information grow. But you got to be more positive about the world we live in. I know there are evil people out there, but everything is not evil. Just remember, when you educate yourself, you will have a better understanding of how the world works. And that's 100% truth. Now, on that note, if you have a business, a topic, or a new YouTube channel that you would like for me to discuss on YouTube or Blog Talk Radio, please email me at lej6521@gmail.com. And if you have a comment, please leave your comment in the comment section under the video. But make sure that your comments are pithy, no bloviating, pettifogging, or filibustering if you wish to opine. That's it for this video. Till next time, my name is Leon Jones. Remember, please be gentle and respectful to each other, and have a wonderful and blessed evening. Good night.